Hey guys, it's James again. I just want to thank you, and I will continue to thank you throughout this entire project. Not only for pledging to Ophelia's Revenge, but also for sharing the word, because Kickstarter actually has this really cool feature where we can see where our pledges are specifically coming from. And so we know that a lot of them, actually the vast majority, are coming from those links that you've been sharing on Facebook and Twitter. So that means a lot to us for you getting the word out, and we really appreciate that. For this update, I wanted to show you something cool, but the problem is that as the writer, I don't have a lot to show you. I mean, I can show you the script, which you can see if you pledge for the deluxe PDF version, which has all the background material. But it's not very visually exciting, so I thought I would instead kind of show you my office in my house, which is where I wrote Ophelia's Revenge. It's a real kind of nerd sanctuary, and there are a lot of things in here that were specifically inspiring to Ophelia's Revenge. So let's start with this guy right here. He's kind of hard to see with the glare. But that's Swampy, Swamp Thing, my absolute favorite character. The very first comic book I ever owned was a Swamp Thing comic. And he is very much an inspiration for Ophelia's Revenge. If you know anything about the story, you know that Ophelia is a very plant-based, swampy demon type of character. So a lot of Swamp Thing influence in there. That's just one of my pieces. I actually have an entire shrine dedicated to Swamp Thing right here with various toys and statues. That's an original watercolor by Matt Kent, and of course some actual plant life to round things out. And it looks like it probably needs to be watered. Swampy and Ophelia are going to come after me. Another influence on Ophelia's Revenge was just kind of the gritty grindhouse horror that you saw in comics and movies during the 60s and 70s. No bigger or better example of that than Night of the Living Dead. That's a print from Sam Flegel. He's an artist you'll see at cons all across the country, and it's inspired by Night of the Living Dead. Great movie, great scene. Probably the best horror movie of all time in my opinion. This is my actual workspace. This is my computer where the writing actually happens. These are my print works. I have a few more stories that have been published digitally, but that's everything that's in print. As you can see, it's very heavy on the red Stylo media, which I'm very proud of. And yes, that is a bottle of Jim Beam that has been repurposed into a lamp. And yes, Jim Beam played a large part in the creation of Ophelia's Revenge. And that's all I will say about that. Down here we have Tiffany Shepis, another horror icon, classic Scream Queen, and this is a movie Prometheus Project that was actually released under the title Frankenstein Syndrome. Great, kind of better than it should have been given the budget horror movie. Really classic. I recommend you check it out. Of course, Mr. J, the Joker. Nothing scarier than clowns, except the scariest thing of all time, kitty cats. And that's my autographed picture of Lil Bub for something completely different. So that's a little abbreviated tour. I hope you enjoyed looking at the office space, kind of seeing some of the geeky influences behind Ophelia's Revenge. Thank you for pledging. Thank you for continuing to spread the word. And we can make this happen, guys, but we can only do it with you. Peace out. Thanks again.